in this video.
Man, this is your own unique journey. Nobody is having the same journey as you, so there's nobody to compare yourself to. You literally cannot get it wrong because there is no way to do it right. Our desires are a reflection of what we are here to do and what we are meant to be. So the mind and the body is just a projection of the soul. If you steady telling somebody, oh yeah, I'm blessed, and then at home you stressing, you're not really blessed then. How do you see how blessed you are if you stressing? You are here for the experience, not to be perfect, not to perfect your experience. You are here to experience. You can only experience certain things. Literally, you can only experience something for the first time once. Each life is not going to be perfect. We really have to drill any imagery that we have tied to perfection out of our minds, if that makes sense. For example, imagine what perfect teeth look like to you. You probably imagine a straight smile, no gaps, white, whatever the case may be, but that's not true. Perfection isn't fake. Perfection is real. That is perfection. When you are just living authentically, that is perfection. When you are experiencing authentically, that is perfection. If emotions come about when you see a play and it moves you to tears, that is perfection in that moment. We have to understand that I feel like flaws, and we are all flawed, but our flaws are really just our differences. It's what it's what sets us out from everybody else. Like, being the same is literally boring. Literally. Like, imagine if we were all, well, you can't imagine it because here it is right in front of our faces in present day life. Like, when you listen to, you know, the new popping music that's popping. What am I talking about? Popping? But, and also, if I'm too close to the camera, my cat is literally like laying behind me. So obviously, as the good person I am, I'm going to let him take the chair. But I need to sit down. But in so many words, I'm saying all this to say that life is a spiritual journey, man. You are here to experience being spiritual but physical, if that makes sense. Because before we are born, we are spiritual. As a soul, which is what we are, which is what we are consisted of, that is our life essence, our soul. Without a soul, you are not alive. Okay, without a soul, you are not animated. Which is why, like, one thing that used to freak me out so bad, and it's still, like, I've accepted death, you know, that's a part of life and death and everything, but whenever I used to see like deceased bodies, or even like like people in the hospital who are pronounced brain dead, like their soul is not in their body, the body is just being kept alive, it always freaked me out, because I can read someone's energy. So when I'm seeing a body there and I'm not hearing a response from their energy, I'm not feeling their energy vibration, that always freaked me out as a child, and it still does to this day, I'm not gonna lie. But not in a bad way, but just in a, wow, that's so freaky. Like, that's just, think about it like an empty car. Think about a car with no driver. The car is just driving, but there's nobody in it. Like, that's creepy. Like, I don't know, what am I talking about? Like, anyways. So the experiences, like I was saying, we are here to experience, right? And the experiences that we experience in our lifetime is meant to teach the soul. The body is just the vessel that we use to learn and to interact, because we learn through interaction. We learn through repetition. Our souls could not just be here metaphysically. You understand? Like I was saying, we go from spiritual, before we are conceived, we're just spiritual. Then when we're conceived, when that sperm reaches the egg, we go from spiritual to physical. Now we have been implanted, our seed, who we are, has been planted inside of a womb, and then we grow there. That's why they say it's 3 stages of life. You got before you're born, life, and death, but all of that still ties into life. You understand? And so yeah, then you're physical, then when you pass away, you go back from physical to spiritual. And the reason why there's 3 stages of life is because those are the 3 major stages that we learn in. Before birth, we're learning, we're observing, we're having a physical experience. It's different than this experience, clearly, because I'm born now. I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm doing all these things. I've got all my bones. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm, this version of me now. And then, but it wasn't like that then. So I had to have that experience of what it was like to be a seed in the womb and everything like that before I could have the experience of being born. But I was still made physical in that moment. I know I went off topic, but now I just got to finish what I was saying, or else I'm gonna feel like there's something scratching my brain all day. And then when obviously this part is why they say it's the most significant, because this is the longest part. This is where the real experience comes in at. You understand? The womb part was just the prep. Okay, we were just prepping. Here's the real deal. And then that's why they say death, you go from physical to spiritual yet again. So that's a whole nother experience in and of itself, because now, in so many words, you reflect on all of your experiences. You take in all the experiences, all the memories, all the things you've learned, all of that you take and you go back to God with that. I just had to say that because I couldn't stop myself. But life is meant to teach the soul. This life is our teacher. If God is life, God is our teacher, and He is teaching our souls. He is training our souls. He has blessed us with the gift of knowledge to be able to learn. God tells us to be childlike in life. He doesn't call us adults of God. Every single one of us, don't matter how old you are, He sees you as His child, because in that sense we are His child. Adults feel like they know it all. And someone who feels like they know it all can never learn anything. And if God is our teacher, and with every piece of life, with every breath we take and we have life within our body, what I'm trying to say here, with every second that we have life in our body, we are able to learn. So even if your body is fully done growing, most people feel like, oh, they don't have, they know everything. They go to little kids, they be like, I know everything. I don't have anything to learn from you. Or they're just too stubborn and thick-headed, and that's not how God tells us to be. God just tells us to enjoy our lives. This is an experience, and one thing I will always say, man, the best things in life are the ones you have to work the hardest for. Think about it like a mango tree. You know how long mango trees take to actually start producing mangoes, man? I just learned this because I was wondering, man, when is my mango tree gonna start making mangoes? It's still a little baby now, but eventually I see mango trees all around the neighborhood, and them things are big. And it's crazy. Every time I see the mango trees, I just think about, dang, my little mango tree has the potential to grow into that. It's literally the size of my hand right now. One day that tree will be 10, 20, 30 times bigger than I. That is crazy to me. And it's just about, like I was saying about the whole childlike thing, it's just about literally enjoying life, man. There's no need for you to worry. The Lord is our shepherd. You shall not want. Why do you want? He has provided you with everything. Literally. Man, life is a spiritual experience. Like I am literally in a meat suit. Like, I was dancing to some music, then all of a sudden I started to realize, like, wait a minute. I started to have one of those moments where I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I able to feel my muscles sliding across my bones? Why am I able to go with my arms like this, and at my expense I can go like this and this and this, and like, that's because I'm just here to have fun. I'm animated. I'm alive, man. I feel like Pinocchio right now. I want to be a real boy. Man, you just gotta have fun, man. I'm so serious. Hey, when you stop focusing on the things that are stressing you out, you're able to look at the things that are blessing you with abundance. Every single soul here has their own unique purpose, which contributes to God's plan for this planet, which is to restore humanity, which is why we are here to heal. God is trying to teach every single soul here. I feel like a lot of people this year alone has been starting to get closer with God, because 2024, if you add up the numbers, it's the number 8, baby. That's karma. What goes around comes around. Think about the infinity symbol, the number 8, but this way. You see it's a continuous loop. So whatever goes in that way is going to come out this way. It's going to be back and forth. And a lot of people have been realizing that, and they're like, yo, man, what the way things are going, I got to find something different. And people are really turning to God. I can tell. Don't let the social media fool you and think, you know, you see one person acting a fool, man. Listen, you let them do them. Life is a spiritual journey. And that is why what I was saying about all of this, and people I'm stuttering. People are turning towards God again is because they realize I've got to shape up or ship out. You understand? Every single soul here is experiencing a life just as complex as yours, because things are real, things are physical, man. And there's so much for us to learn here. I've been saying to myself the past couple of days, like, wow, I'm really proud of myself, because not only have I committed myself to never-ending learning, because when you observe a child, you realize, dang, that child always asking questions. That's what we're supposed to do. And as soon as I did that, all these birds came flying. That was crazy. Like, that was crazy. But that's what we're supposed to do. Notice how you could be cooking something. The child be like, is that chicken? No, this steak. Oh, what is that? It's from a cow. Oh, what? How do you get it? Like, they're constantly just asking questions, because they are the embodiment of what God tells us to be. That's why, like, whenever I see like adults just kind of like pushing children to the side, like, you're not needed here, whatever the case may be, and they just treat them like that, I'd be like, man, are you blind? Are you really blind? Children are really a blessing, because they remind us to get back to our roots. We all started off as children. That's why they say it's important to get back to your younger self. Like, I'm telling y'all, man, if you are not happy with the way your life is going, it's because your desires are not pure. Your desires are not pure. You could be unhappy for whatever reason. You could wish that you looked a certain way. You could desire to look a certain way. You could desire to live somewhere else. You could desire to have a certain amount of money. You could desire to be somebody who you aren't. That's not a pure desire, and only you know what that is. But children's desires are pure, and this is going back to what I was saying when God tells us to be childlike. A child's desires are pure, completely pure. They don't care to have fortune. They don't care to have fame. They don't care to have all eyes on them, the attention on them. They don't really care for all of that. They don't care to be flashy. They just care to be taken care of. Their desires are to be happy and to spread love. Their desires are to have a good time. Their desires are to create and have fun. When you stop a child from creating, they get in a sour mood, because they be like, why are you killing my vibe? You understand? And the closer you get to God, the more you see things from a more spiritual standpoint. I realized that, man, my life really started to skyrocket just last year, as I started to grow closer to God, as I actually started to seek God out more and more in everything that I did. And the only way to get life looking the way you desire it to look is you have to think about it, right? Our desires are a reflection of what we are here to do and what we are meant to be. So the mind and the body is just a projection of the soul. That's really what it is. Whatever your mental state is at, that is a projection of where you are and how close you are to God, because God is good. And what I mean by God is good, like, yeah, God is good. He provides, he delivers, he protects, he does all these wonderful things, right? But no, God is literally good. Literally good. Anything that's good is God. You understand? So when your mental health is good, you're close to God. You're on the same frequency as God would be. Maybe not quite, because we still got healing to do. Let's keep that in mind. So maybe not quite, but you are definitely in the direction of God. You are definitely facing God when your energy is good, when your mental is good. And then on top of that, that is a reflection in your physical body. Notice when you feel good, you start to feel like you start to look good. You start to be more energetic. Like, that is the ultimate key, is feeling good. Because it really is a choice. We have the choice to feel good about our experiences, because this is an experience for the soul. Don't take it all physically. They tell you, stress about your bills, stress about this, and that's the opposite of what God is telling you to do. God is not telling you to stress because he is your shepherd. He sees. Okay, he's not dumb. Let's not act like he's dumb. He's not dumb. He's very smart. He's very aware. But he's telling you, he's trying to tell you, like, in so many words, if you would stop stressing, I could help you get out of the situation you're in. I can help you. I can show you the way, but you gotta stop stressing. Life is a spiritual journey, man. Even though you got people all around you telling you, oh girl, you gotta look this way. Oh dude, you gotta be acting like this. Oh, you gotta have this. You gotta have a big house. You gotta be living a fast life. You gotta be outside every single night. You gotta have all the money. You gotta be in the clubs, but you gotta be holding down a job. You gotta, like, come on, man. The biggest scam that they could ever do to us is right in front of our faces, man. It's modern day society. They realizing that they can scam a lot of folks, and that's not okay. And sometimes along our path, along our journey, we face the very uncomfortable parts of the journey. We face the decision. We come to a fork in the road where we go this way and this way. And sometimes that's uncomfortable, but we have to understand, in order to know what path is best for you to take, you have to trust God. And then on top of that, man, the fact that we are being led by God, even if you take the path that looks more shinier and it appears not to be shiny, it might have been shiny in the very beginning, but then as you continue to go along, you realize, dang, this kind of was like not the best path for me. God will never let you fail. He will never let you fall. He's going to take you on the right path, but you have to stop stressing. You have to stop. I'm so serious, man, because this is an experience. And when you learn to feel good no matter what it is you're experiencing, and I don't want to mean like push away any emotions that you feel, because we're human. We're meant to experience how experiences make us feel. You understand? So if we experience something and we don't like the way it makes us feel, that's how we learn. Our emotions are probably the biggest way our intuition talks to us is through emotions. So when you turn off your emotions, you turn off your intuition. You blind yourself. You put the blindfold over yourself. You cover your own eyes. You fog up your own path so where you can't see. But you gotta be open to endless possibilities. But you also gotta believe that you are literally exactly where you are meant to be. When you stop stressing about deadlines and what time this thing gotta be done, it don't matter what it is, but when you stop stressing about it, everything falls into place. When you stop trying to pull the things and make them fall into place where you want it to be, everything just feels more peaceful on the mind. I seen something the other day that I really needed to see. It was like, girl, we get it. It was a post on Pinterest, and I was looking for the quote of the day for my most recent video talking about how social media is cancer. And I was on Pinterest because all I see on there is quotes. And so I was looking for a quote of the day, and I seen something that was like, girl, we get it. You're intuitive, you're intelligent, but for the sake of your peace, stop confronting everything you notice. You gotta just let it flow. You gotta just let it flow. Every little thing, if I was to say and confront every single bird I just seen flow past me, I would be too caught up in just that one little aspect of my experience that I'm not even experiencing the rest. When you get caught up in, and it's important to be focused on, bettering yourself and focus on your own path. Just in some of the words, what I'm saying with all of that, focus on your experience in a whole. Be so engulfed and immersed in your own experience that you don't have the time to focus on, to look at the next person's experience and it's like, oh, are you getting closer to God too? Oh, you're on a spiritual journey too? How are you on your spiritual journey? Are you doing better than me? What all do you know? And I'm going to compare it to what I know. All I know. Stop comparing yourself. You don't need to do that. What you doing that for, man? This is your own unique journey. Nobody is having the same journey as you. So there's nobody to compare yourself to. You literally cannot get it wrong because there is no way to do it right. Bro, I be on a roll, bro. Come on. You literally cannot get it wrong because there is no right way to live life. This is your own unique experience, meaning nobody has lived this experience. Nobody. You're the only one in this whole world. You have to understand that you are so special and precious to God. You're the only one who is doing it like you're doing it. When you're living authentically, when you allow yourself to be different, I'm so serious. Just allow yourself to be different. Embrace what makes you different. Because the things that make you different are the authentic parts of you. So embrace that. And when you just embrace the things that make you different, you realize there is no way I can live my life wrong, because the only right way to live life is authentically. The only way you could be living wrong is if you're not being real. So I had a moment today where I was dancing and I was just having such a, like, after I had that moment, I think it was after I had that moment where I realized, like, I'm just in a vessel and I'm a soul just having this amazing experience, and I love the experience of dancing and having my heart pumping and moving my body and just, you know, all the beautiful things and the music and the rhythm. I love it. I love music. I love that. And eventually I just started laughing because I was like, wow, like, I love this. Like, I love music. Like, this is actually a really nice experience. I think I'll have more experiences like this. You understand? And so, yeah, like, I was dancing and I realized, like, I was so happy in that moment. I was just happy and I was smiling. And then I had a moment where I was like, damn, like, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like the fact that folks could really just enjoy the experience that they're having. A lot of people, and then it took me back to my childhood, and I went from smiling to like, dang, man, now I gotta heal. Now that I've noticed that this wound that I didn't even know was there, now I've got to heal it. Take time and show it some love and then get back to dancing. And I realized, like, dang, as a child, I was always so different from folks. And a lot of people don't like what they don't understand. And so, in so many words, it's like seeing a whole bunch of red cupcakes and then you see one blue cupcake and you're like, I'm gonna just go with the red cupcakes, because why is that blue? I don't even want to touch that blue cupcake. And so you realize all the other red cupcakes are getting picked and you're the one blue cupcake waiting to get accepted, and you're like, nobody likes the blue cupcake. Like, that's how it felt as a child. Like, nobody really wanted to be with me, like, not, you know what I mean, but like to be cool with me. Like, and that really hurt me as a child, man. Like, and the fact that it was children being taught to not accept differences because I was just being different, and the fact that it was children being taught to not accept people that are different, it's crazy, because we're all different. No two people can be the same. But I think the reason why children are taught to be that way is because they're always being compared. Like, especially if they have siblings, they're most likely being compared to the next sibling, and that's not cool. I was compared as well, but I just allow myself to be different and allow people to feel how they want to feel about me. Like, it doesn't really hurt, but it's just kind of like, dang, man. And that's what made me start trying to act like everybody else. And as someone who definitely tried to act like everybody else, it never feels fulfilling because it's not authentic. Trying to live your life like everybody else will never be fulfilling because you're not being authentic. Just be as you are. Be as you are. I'm so serious. I've said that a million times. Matter of fact, I feel like if you just searched up Joel Hannah and then be as you are, you'll probably see about 5 different videos, maybe. I don't know, because I've mentioned that 1,000,002 times because I can't say it enough. You're here to experience who God sent you here to be. You're here to learn about who God sent you here to be. You're here to learn about what God wants you to do here. You're here to fulfill the purpose that God gave you here and experience. And let me tell you something. The closer you're getting with God, if you're getting close to God, it means that you're definitely walking down the path that He told you to. Because that's the only way. We get closer to God by listening to Him, because He is drawing us closer. Everything He tells us to do draws us closer to Him. So you get closer to Him by listening to Him, and as you listen to Him, He blesses you. My life is so blessed, bro. I'm not about to cry, man. Bro, every time I think, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, man. Every time I think about how blessed I am and how happy I am to be alive, I just get washed over with so much happiness, man. Like, dang, God, thank you. Like, I be so serious. Like, I just can't help but feel like I want to cry tears of joy, because it has not always been like this. Then I was telling God, like, dang, and I asked Him, for real, I was like, am I ever gonna get used to this feeling? And He pretty much answered me with another feeling. And in so many words, it was like, well, if I'm proud of myself for how far I've grown, if I'm proud of myself for accepting myself and learning and all sorts of things, and if I continue to do that, and I continue to learn more about who I am and to heal, I'll never get used to it, because I'm always learning something new. I'm always healing. I'm always growing. So every time I turn around and every time I remember, hey, I'm growing. Hey, I'm doing what I'm meant to do. Hey, I'm getting closer to God. It'll always feel like a brand new experience. It'll feel like it was my first time feeling that feeling, because in a way it kind of is, because we're never the same. Like, who I was 30 minutes ago before I started this video who I was 30 minutes ago before I started this video is not who I am 30 minutes later, because our future is always unfolding with everything we do. And that's another thing that I wanted to touch on, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to make a video on this or if I wanted to just throw it into a video. But I guess I could throw it into this video, because really any topic about life is really the main topic of all my videos, and then every little topic is just like like life is the umbrella topic, and every little topic is like the stem. You get what I mean? I don't know. But I also wanted to say, like, if you are unhappy with where you are, if you are in a depression, let's start there, because y'all don't even want to know, man. I've been to the point where I had a cold little lonely light shining from me, y'all. It was cold, it was small, it was lonely, it was dim. You could barely see it, man. I was just hanging on barely. Child, don't even. Anyways, if you are in a depression right now, it's most likely because you are not happy with where you are. And you're like, well, no, duh, but no, you're not hearing me when I say that. If you are in a depression right now, it's because you're not being grateful. It's because you're being ungrateful. And I'm so serious. It's because you're looking at yourself as the victim. Even if you're depressed because of trauma, when you think about every single experience, trauma can be an experience. But the thing about trauma is it's a wound that you have put a grudge in. If somebody did something to you, and it don't matter what it is, I know it can be difficult. Trust me, y'all. Don't think I'm like naive, or don't think I'm one of those people that's like, oh, it's easy to heal. No, trust me. I know. And I'm telling you, as someone who has been on both sides of the field, someone who has been extremely depressed to someone who is living their best life and it's only getting better. And the reason I say living my best life, I don't want y'all to think, oh, I've got it perfect. No, my life is still complex. But the only reason I'm living my best life is because I decide to tell it. I tell the story that way. That's how I decide to see it. I decide to view this life as my best life. I decide to see, hey, life is good. I decide to see the good in life. Like I said, when you stop stressing, you see what's actually blessing you. So I decided to stop stressing. And here I am. No more depression. I'm out of that. What I was saying with all of that is, when you're depressed, it's because you're living in the past, or you wish things were different. You're not grateful for the experiences that you have had, because we start to embody every little thing we experience and take it personally. And that's not how it should be. Every single trauma, we take it personally. And all of our trauma comes from each other, 9 times out of 10. Some people get traumatized by animals. Some people get traumatized by, trauma is different for everybody. But like, our deeply wounded trauma comes from other people who were wounded and wounded us. And we took that personally and turned it into trauma. And we took it personally. We were doing just fine. Someone came and traumatized us because we took it personally. That's how wounding gets turned into trauma. Because it had nothing to do with you. That person's wounding and they came and wounded you. You were perfectly fine until they came and wounded you. What I'm trying to say with that, you did not play a part in that person's wounding. So them turning around and wounding you had nothing to do with you. Notice how when you're not in the best mood, right? You operate on that mood's vibration. You understand? When people are upset and they are not emotionally stable and they are upset, they lash out. They just be angry. They want to cut the world off because that is the mood that they're in. It's a bit difficult for them to step beside themselves, calm down, and come back to center. You understand what I'm saying with that? I hope all of that just made sense, because my thoughts just kind of blurred together in one. So I hope all of that really just made some sense to y'all. But come on, man. You are not your experiences. You are the observer of the experiences. You are the experiencer. So if you had an experience, somebody didn't treat you right, man, just learn from it. Just learn from it, man. You don't have to allow yourself to be wounded, because at this point, when you have this trauma and you internalize it, at that point, that's when it becomes the part that you play in your own wounding. When you take in the trauma that somebody else afflicted upon you, that's the part that you played in your own wounding. And it's not your fault, because you were never taught how to let go. You were never taught, if somebody did you dirty, just brush it off. You were never taught that. You were never taught to not take anything personal. But you're old enough now. You're aware now. So now you've got to take the things that you know and you've got to start healing. And that's okay, man. Just take your time. Nobody's rushing you. You go at your own pace. You feel what comes up and you keep going, but you have a good time. That's literally when healing occurs. Like I said, man, I was having a good time dancing. Then I remembered, and I was laughing. Then I remembered. It just came to me. That part that needed to be healed came to me, because you cannot heal if you do not feel safe. But when you are in a good mood and you start to feel safe, that is when the things rise. Because it's like, think about it like it being the wounds being in the dark, and they're waiting for light to shine. So they're like, wait a minute, I can be seen now. Now that you are in a good light, in a positive light, your wounds are able to surface and show you like, hey, you see me now? I'm here. But when you are in a dark light, when you are just engulfed in shadow, when there's nothing but darkness, the wounds just blend all together with the darkness. But when there's finally light, it's able to peek up and be like, hey, look, heal me, please. I want to be integrated into the light too. And so then you accept it and you move along. Healing will only come when you are feeling safe, when you are feeling secure, when you are feeling balanced, when you are feeling good. And then I also wanted to say anxiety. Anxiety comes from you trying to predict your future. Your future, which is forever changing. Me picking up my phone right now and just putting it in the camera must change my future somehow, some way. Every little thing unfolds your future. So anxiety comes from you trying to predict the future, from you trying to figure out how something is going to happen for you. That's where that anxiety stems from. I'm not scratching my butt, I'm scratching my cat here. He wanted to get up and move. Papa. Yeah, anxiety comes from you trying to predict the future, which is forever changing, and me showing my cat literally, and me clearing up the fact that I wasn't scratching my butt most likely changed my future. Somebody probably would have been like, oh my gosh, Becky, she's scratching her butt. Now I just avoided somebody saying that. You understand? And if you just said that right now, that's kind of messed up, because I just told you that I wasn't doing that. So why would you think that I was still doing that, even though I just told you that I wasn't? It was my cat. It was. I'm so serious. It was my cat, bro. It was. Relax. What am I on about? But depression, it comes from living in the past, being ungrateful. Anxiety, it comes from trying to play God and predict where you're going to end up. You're going to just, and that's where the anxiety comes from, because you're racking your mind with all these possibilities. Every little thing you do, you're racking your mind with possibilities. And you just got to just breathe. Be where you are and experience where you are in your journey, man. It's so much beautiful things for you to experience. Just, okay, think about what's stressing you and decide you're not going to focus on that no more, because it's already taken care of. If you're stressing about financial problems, just tell yourself, oh, God already took care of that for me. You have to understand, God will not let you face anything that he does not have a solution for, if that makes sense. He will not let you go through anything that he can't already solve. So you are at the point where God been thought about. You're like, man, how am I going to get through this? Look at this roadblock. How am I going to get past this? God already knew it was going to happen before you even knew. He knew that by the way you've been observing. Let's say you just have a poor relationship with money and you just keep spending, and all of a sudden you got rent due and you don't know how you're going to make it. God seen that coming a mile away, because he's like, man, look at this girl spending like this, man. Let me go concoct a plan, because I see exactly where this is going. That's how God be, man. Before the minute you think about it, you have to understand God already has a solution. You just give it to him. And with every single time you find yourself stressing about something, remind yourself that God already figured it out. He already solved it. Now he's just waiting on you to relax so he can show you what to do. He's already solved the equation. He's like, I already got the answer. I'm going to wait till you calm down. The answer is right here on the paper. I'm going to wait till you calm down. I'm going to wait till you gather yourself. I'm going to wait till you collect yourself. Put yourself back together and stop throwing a tantrum, so I can give you the answer. So I can show you what to do step by step. Because he already figured out the equation. He was already like, okay. Now I'm going to wait on you to calm down. It's just, think about it like a teacher. Like I said, if life is God, if God is life, he is teaching us through life, because we are the soul. The way I see it is like, when a teacher is teaching a class, right, and the whole class is being rowdy, the teacher be like, everybody settle down. And then they get back to teaching, because they cannot continue to teach the class if the class is acting a fool. But when the class settles down, the teacher's like, okay, back to the lesson, so I can show you what to do, so you know what to do. That is how God guides us through anything that we are facing. But we have to be still. Being still just means settling down, easing those thoughts that's stressing you, telling yourself, if you're like, man, I don't know how I'm going to pay my car note this week or this month or whatever the case may be, God is like, settle down and I'm going to show you what to do. Settle down and I'm going to take care of you. You got to trust in my plan. If it's in God's plan for your car to get taken away for a little while, so that way you can focus on saving your money, then that's God's plan. Because God has a funny way of teaching us all. It's not going to go how you want it to be. Just understand that. Be blessed and stop stressing. Because the only way you can be blessed is if you realize you have nothing to stress about. Literally. The only way you can be blessed is if you realize you have nothing to stress about. If you steady telling somebody, oh yeah, I'm blessed, and then at home you stressing, you're not really blessed then. How you see how blessed you are if you stressing? You won't know you're blessed if you're stressing. Literally. Come on, man. A person that tells you in their face, yeah, I'm blessed, then go home and start stressing about this, and this. You don't really see how blessed you are if you're stressing. You realize how blessed you are when you realize you have no reason to stress. Come on, man. Let's act like we don't know. I mean, let's not act like we don't know. Y'all are such beautiful souls, beautiful beings, man. You're here for the experience. You're not here to try and be perfect. You're not here to do it right, because this is the life that God gifted to you. These experiences, these blessings, this path, this journey, nobody else has lived it. Nobody else will live it. Nobody else can replicate that, even if they tried, because what makes the journey unique to you is you. No one can be you, ever. Not even after you finish living this life. No other soul will have the same exact journey as you, ever. You're the only person in history to be experiencing the life that you're experiencing right now. And nobody else will ever know all the things that you've gone through. And a lot of the time, I be finding like, dang, sometimes I be wanting to really like tell it all. But then at the end of the day, I just don't think I would have the time. Ain't enough years in my life, even because I'm still gonna be learning and growing. You understand? So it ain't enough time for me to try and tell the whole entire story of my life. It's not enough time. But God has seen it, I've seen it. That's really all that matters to me. You just enjoy your experience, man. Like, for real, man. I know Christmas is coming up. Everybody might not celebrate Christmas, but right now, start working on enjoying the experience of your own life. Because we need more of that, man. We really do need more people who are just happy with themselves. Because when you're happy with yourself, it shows in the way you treat other people. It shows in the way you treat yourself. And then we can pass that along and heal another soul. In order to heal a soul, in order to heal any wounds, you have to touch what is hurting with love instead of with pain. When you put a wounded person next to another wounded person, all you're gonna get is pain being thrown back and forth. All you're gonna get is stabbing. I stab you, you stab me. I stab you, you stab me. That's like putting two people who are wounded together. Now, when you put somebody who is secure in themselves, happy with themselves, happy with their lives next to someone who is wounded, the person who is wounded 9 times out of 10 are going to try and dodge the love, because they're so used to having to dodge knives and having to dodge being stabbed. So they're going to try and dodge the love because they're thinking you about to hit them with a stab wound. The whole time you're just trying to touch the wound, but they're like, come on, man. But eventually, man, you soften that person up. And you cannot heal somebody. I don't want to portray that message that you can heal somebody. Let me tell you something. Any healing that any person does, it has to come from within, because only they know what is truly ailing them. Like I said, it's only a unique experience. You're not able to experience what the next person is experiencing. Even me, someone who can feel another person's energy. When I'm around, like I said earlier, when I'm around dead people, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with seeing lifeless bodies, because it's just like I can feel that there is no energy coming from that, and I don't want to, and I can embody that feeling. And the fact that that body has no feeling, that's like me embodying what it's like to not be here even though I'm here. So that puts me in like a weird feeling, and it just, that drops, I don't know how to explain it, man, but I don't know how to explain that. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I've always been very spiritual, man. Even as a child, I just didn't know it. You understand? I'm not religious. I'm not any of that. I'm spiritual. I'm a soul. I'm a spirit in a body. And I come from the Holy Spirit. That's what I am. So I am spiritual. Just being physical for the time being. And just enjoying this physical experience. Even though these bugs been tearing up my ankles. And I'm not fond of that experience, and because I keep scratching my leg up, and I'm scratching it right now. I'm not fond of the experience, but I'm fine with it. Like, it's part of the experience of being on Earth. Earth has bugs, itchy bugs, tall grass. Florida has lots of rain. It's actually was drizzling a little bit. It's actually gonna rain in a little minute. There's not an ounce of blue sky anywhere, and it's like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I've been recording for an hour. Wow. 54 minutes to be exact. What am I talking about? Now I'm just yapping. Y'all see how I just be yapping, man? Y'all forgive me, please. But nah, I think that's really all that I have for this video. I don't be planning to make the videos this long, but I just be feeling guided to do so. And just be guided to talk, man. I've always loved to talk. I feel like I really am a good conversationalist, but I have never been able to really test that theory with other people, because I've never felt like I've been accepted, or I've never felt like I was easy to digest from other people. You understand? Like, I felt like my energy was so grand, and I don't feel like it is. I know it is. My energy has always been so grand, just me being my authentic self, that it's too much for the average person to consume, and so they just choke, which is why it's like people never really got to know the real me. And I noticed that from the time that I started doing YouTube to now, the real me been shining through, y'all. Like, this is as real as it gets, man. And it feels good to have these vulnerable moments in life, man, when I realize I'm not wearing a mask anymore. I can actually breathe. I don't feel like I'm suffocating from having so many masks on. I can breathe. I feel free. I feel light, man. I feel me. I feel like me. And that's how it's supposed to feel. I know me, and I'm constantly learning more about me. I can never stop learning, man. It just feels like I don't feel like my energy is weighed down. And in this time that I've been away from people, I've been cutting off people, it's literally just me and God. And all of you guys, but obviously y'all are not having access to me physically. So it really just me and God and my energy. God knows my energy. I know my energy. That's all it needs to be at the moment. And it just feels so good, because looking back to September and when I first started this channel a whole year ago, it's so crazy, because it's like, dang, look at who I was, man. I was letting y'all in like this much, man. Y'all barely saw the real me. But, or you know, I like to think that at a certain point, that was as real as I could be at that point in my life. It's not that I wasn't showing y'all the real me, but that was as real as I could possibly be. And then the more and more I just kept experiencing life from last year to now, the realer I just started to get. The more masks I started to take off, the lighter I started to feel, the more healing I was doing. And a lot of the time I be getting confused, because I grew up, you know, consuming social media, and so I'm so used to, you know, if you want to get to know somebody or to see if somebody is being the real them, they got to tell you every little aspect of their lives. And I don't feel the need to do that. Like, I just share what I want to share. I do be stopping myself. Like, if I say something that I'll be like, dang, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't overshare. I'll just edit it out. Literally. But that's really all that I have for this video, man. It's crazy how I just kept saying from the 40-minute mark, even the 30-minute mark, when I was like, I don't want this video to be an hour long. And then yet here I am talking 20-30 minutes later. I just really love to talk. Like, that's one thing I noticed about myself. I like to talk about positive things. I like to talk about the good things in life. I just like to talk. I like to be real, just be talking, man. I could talk somebody's ear off. Let me stop, man, for real. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Thank y'all so much for joining the community. Thank y'all so much for just watching the videos and tuning in, man. I really appreciate you. If you watch it to this part in the video, man, I really do appreciate you, man. Like, for real. Thank y'all so much for the support, for your support. I don't like to say for the support, because it's like, whose support is it? Like, what is the support? I want to thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you for contributing your energy to this community. Even if you just watching for the first time, man. Thank you for leaving your mark here, man. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And you're a beautiful soul. We're all beautiful souls. And we just have to remind myself how much we really mean to God.
How did I not catch the fact that I said myself instead of ourselves?
Not to the next person, but we mean a lot to God, and that's why we're here, to serve him. And so that's all that I have for real. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Until next time, bye friends.